All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the Las Vegas Raiders. Antonio Pierce has this team already. Guys, we're like less than a week in at the time of this recording, and this dude has the mentality. He has already implemented a specific culture. You guys are seeing these post-game recap interviews. We're seeing locker room celebrations. We're seeing dudes smoking cigars. I absolutely love the aura. I love the vibe, and I completely love the energy of the Las Vegas Raiders right now. 30-6 victory this afternoon at home with Aidan O'Connell behind the helm as the starting quarterback. Look, man, I've seen so much pessimism outside of Raiders fans, just like NFL fans saying like, oh, congratulations, you beat Tommy DeVito. You beat the New York Giants. Congrats, congrats, congrats. Here's what's crazy. Josh McDaniels was fired like less than a week ago. What's even crazier, as quick as the culture changed with Davante Adams, Josh Jacobs, Max Crosby, Antonio Pierce literally has this team exactly where I want them to be. They're 4-5. Like, as detrimental and as like weird of a vibe and energy as this team has had through the first 9 weeks of the regular season, they're still 4-5. Like, it's clear as day that there is. And you have Davante Adams, you have Max Crosby, you have Josh Jacobs. These are things we know. But the Las Vegas Raiders, they're so much better than people are giving them credit for. And I think their future is a lot brighter than people think. And Antonio Pierce may or may not be a part of it, but nonetheless, Josh McDaniels is gone. He's no longer the coach of the Raiders. And the vibe literally flipped like a light switch. It literally flipped that quickly. It's crazy. So before we get any further into tonight's video, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL videos. If you want more Raiders content, let me know down below. But guys, if we try and get this video to 250 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So all right, even if we wanted to play in, let's play devil's advocate here for a second. Let's just say, you're playing the 2-6 New York Giants. You're 3-5. You just fired your head coach. You're starting your back, or technically, I guess your third stringer because of the whole Brian Hoyer thing, in Aidan O'Connell. I mean, like, you're not even really supposed to win it, all things considered, but roster-wise, the Raiders are better than the Giants. So it's like, all right, I guess they should technically win it, if you get what I'm saying here. Well, they either did their job or they shocked a lot of people with this New York Giants victory. I mean, it wasn't even close, guys. It was 24-0 at halftime. 24-0 at halftime. This is my most favorite thing. First off, the defense was absolutely feasting. They had like 8 total sacks this afternoon. My favorite thing about this afternoon against the Giants was Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs was the leading rusher in the National Football League last season. And we don't know whether it was scheme, offensive line, whatever you want to chalk it up to. The rush game with Josh Jacobs all throughout the season, it was just so lackluster. And it was pissing me off. And I know it was pissing other Raiders fans off. And it's just like, Josh Jacobs is a stud. Like, whether or not you think he should be paid to a long-term contract, like, none of that matters. We can all agree with the fact that Josh Jacobs is a freaking stud. This afternoon, 26 carries, 98 yards, but more importantly, he had 2 rushing touchdowns. We also saw a rushing touchdown from Jakobi Meyers. But Aidan O'Connell, don't let these stats fool you. He was 16-25 for 209 yards. Once again, we have to reiterate the point. They were up 24-0 at halftime. 24-0 at halftime. Josh Jacobs had 2 rushing touchdowns. Jakobi Meyers had a rushing touchdown. Aidan O'Connell, don't let that touchdown, 0 touchdown, don't let that fool you. The dude was in control. He was poised. He was everything I wanted from a quarterback. And this is literally a rookie that we selected late in the draft. Trey Tucker, 2 catches, 52 yards, including, the big chunk, 50-yard catch. That's something I felt like the Raiders were really lacking with Jimmy Garoppolo. Even though Raiders fans might hate what I'm about to say here, I still think Jimmy G is a fully capable winning quarterback. But Aidan O'Connell gives me the big playability. And Trey Tucker's a guy, a rookie selected out of Cincinnati. He's a guy I had high hopes for. I had very high praise for heading into the season. we've seen Trey, Trey's had a solid-esque season. We go back to that New England game where he had a big game, 2 catches for 57 yards. The Chicago Bears game, 2 catches for 16 yards, mainly special teams. We were kind of fully waiting for the Trey Tucker breakout, but it's like, he's playing behind Jakobi Meyers. He's playing behind Davante Adams, and he's technically playing behind Hunter Renfrow. I am really excited about Trey Tucker's speed and Aiden O'Connell's ability to throw that deep ball. So Trey Tucker finished the game with 2 catches for 52 yards, including the long of 50 yards. Jakobi Meyers, 2 catches, 38 yards, but he did have that 17-yard rushing touchdown. Davante Adams, 4 catches, 34 yards. But what really stood out to me, if you guys haven't watched it, go watch it, was the Raiders post-game presser. We've hyped up Antonio Pierce. I think Antonio Pierce, he's like a player's player, if that makes sense. Like, this is a relatable guy. This is a guy who's played in the NFL. He's been successful in the NFL, and I just feel like he can really touch, and these are like, that's actually the exact word he used. I feel like he can really touch the Raiders players in a non-weird way. Emotionally, these are things that matter. You want to play for a guy that has your back. I'm thinking about the Detroit Lions right now with Dan Campbell. I did not ever get that vibe with Josh McDaniels, which really sucked because, I was rooting for Josh. I was rooting for Josh McDaniels to be the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. What else am I supposed to do? Root for his downfall? Like, I wanted that to work. But it was like, it's like you're flipping on a light bulb or a power switch or whatever. The night and day difference between the energy, the aura, the vibe of this Raiders team. Once Josh McDaniels got fired and everything we're hearing about the whole firing process and all of that stuff and, the locker room conversations doesn't make it better. But I really genuinely love what the Raiders are doing right now. And I think Antonio Pierce, whether he's the head, or whether he's the future coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, whether he's just, the interim head coach for the Raiders this season, whatever it is, it's such, I know it's been just one game. I know it's just been 1 week since Josh McDaniels has been fired, but it truly feels like such a difference. And I know Raiders fans fully agree with what I'm saying here. The energy of this team, it just feels like they're back. And we once again have to reiterate the point, as crazy of a season as this has been, they're still 4-5. They're still, at the time of this recording, the second best team in the AFC West, which is just crazy because of all the disarray that has happened within the organization, within the team. I mean, they're 4-5. I'm going to take these wins. I understand draft picks. I understand you want, draft picks, better draft pick, whatever. I understand that. But at the end of the day, I'm looking long term. And right now, after today's victory, 30-6 against the New York Giants, I love the Raiders' outlook long term. Let me know what you guys are thinking, but that's it for tonight, man. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, and we will catch you next time.